Welcome back, everyone, to Third Street Reactions. I'm Zach.
I'm Shane.
Tom.
And we are back with the Clone Wars, whatever episode that we're on. Remember what we watched, but Tom wasn't here for it.
Yeah, but
so
you're caught up.
The audience wants to know, does Tom know what happened last time?
Yes.
Tom does, yeah. So we've got young Jedis running around out in the wilderness being hunted, essentially, and...
Yes. Padawans. Yes.
Padawans.
Yes.
And we also got to see a little Easter egg there of Chewbacca, finally.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool, I thought.
Yeah. And, I mean, Zach and I, we hit on actual, the development of, the character models in the world and the colors. Mm-hmm. And just the Trandoshans, for whatever they're worth, they look the same as they did in 1977.
Can't ask for more than that.
Yeah, I mean, they look cool. They're faithful to the design. You can say you don't like the design, but they're faithful to it.
I like them.
I like them, too.
No complaints.
I do not have a complaint. I love the Trandoshans.
The only complaint I have about the Star Wars aliens is that there are not enough non-humanoids that you see on a regular basis.
Yeah, you're probably right. Humans definitely dominate the galaxy.
No, not just that, but humans or near humans
or humanoids.
Yeah. You see a lot of, but you don't really see any non-humanoid aliens.
Yeah, you're right.
These things out of Lovecraft, these big stalk vegetable-looking things with arms everywhere.
That has been something that I've heard people in the sci-fi community talk about Star Wars. Everything is kind of bipedal.
Yeah.
There's no even Mass Effect. They have they start to run to that, but they have the jellyfish people.
Yeah.
Whatever they're called, the Enkindlers. The Enkindlers are the religion, but they have some weird fucking things.
Yeah, and you have to imagine that
they have Borgullet. That's it.
Yeah, you get his little slug man.
Yeah.
And you don't have much. I guess you have Jabba.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Jabba
even
is...
he kind of has
he's two eyes.
Recognizable features.
Yeah, two eyes, the nose, stuff like that. Yeah, you're right. Everything else that's not humanoid-esque is like a monster, like a Sarlacc.
There's nothing you communicate with or anything.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I just finished I started the Catalyst.
Yeah.
It's going over Krennic at this assembly there at the tail end of the Republic. I think it's before the Empire starts, and he's trying to move closer and closer to these rows, to the status people.
Yeah.
And anyway, he's describing other aliens he sees in the crowd, and so there are these canisters.
Oh, yeah?
Everything to keep them alive and stuff. So it's actually expounding on...
Yeah. The sequel trilogy had a few things that were cool, and in the old trilogy, we had the cantina scene, there were some weird ones, and that was really...
You don't see much. You have that spider thing that walks through Jabba's palace.
Yeah.
That has a little bowl with a brain in it or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Maybe that was just that guy's last-ditch effort of life. Maybe it used to be a bipedal man.
Well, if you think the Empire, and I know in the EU, they talked about it being kind of a xenophobic type thing, which is also their excuse for not having a bunch of aliens running around.
But I get it in the old trilogy.
Yeah.
You probably wasn't allowed. You couldn't do a lot.
Production-wise,
but
it also
going forward,
yeah,
you have a lot of that staying true to the originals without really growing anything.
It also kind of makes sense, for the Empire to streamline, you can't have a Hutt being a TIE fighter. You could have
I don't mean it just in terms of Imperial recruitment.
You mean
just in general?
Oh yeah.
We don't see a lot of...
You definitely know.
You know what I mean?
We're on a new arc. We're in a new season. And, Zach and I always go on tangents, but they're always good. So I'm excited for you to see this.
Yeah,
and actually, I'm probably more excited for you to see this. There's something in this that you hate, but it's also near and dear to your heart.
Fair enough.
In terms of something that you just hate it in any medium. Because it's something you're afraid of.
All right.
But I think because it's near to your heart that way, but it's also Star Wars, so it's cool. Make sure you guys go to our Patreon to check out the next 2 episodes and full-length fucking shit.
True, but it's not well written.
I need to do a compilation of us just doing that.
It's not well written.
The king of the Mon Calamari has been found mysteriously murdered, leaving his young son, Prince Lee Char.
Lee Charles.
You've all prospered under our rule. It's time for a change. The prince's rule has been preordained. Down with this monarchy.
We'll defend our right for a Mon Cala king.
We want a Quarren king. Down with the Mon Cala. Power to the Quarren.
I am dedicated to serving the Quarren, as well as my own people, the Mon Calamari.
Silence.
You haven't earned the right to speak at this gathering.
You have no say in the matter, Ambassador. You are only here as an observer for the Separatists. Such a disgrace. I'll give you a lesson in manners. Prince Li Cha will bring the planet to ruin.
What can the Republic do to help keep the peace?
This is a matter between the Quarren and the Mon Cala. Yeah, who asked you? The Republic has no place here. Down with the Republic!
These assholes.
The Quarren have no further business here.
Why is Sharkman leading the squid people?
I mean, he's just an observer for the Separatists, but...
I am sorry for your loss.
Captain, assemble the Mon Cala troops and prepare for a Quarren assault.
We had that battle also in the microseries. Those Quarrens are assholes in The Mandalorian season 2, remember? They threw them.
I'm entrusting the safety of
Oh,
Prince
no.
Li Cha to your hands.
Why a fish lady
You must
needs
remain
breasts.
at his side at all times as his personal
She's not gonna have any milk.
Senator, if the boy is...
Maybe that species does? Like whales do, or mammals, but
They're mammals.
fucking platypuses are fucking mammals and everything. I don't know.
But they're mammals, so they have tits. That's what I'm saying.
With due respect, Senator.
But there might be a reason in universe. I don't
We
know.
gotta mix something up now.
Yeah.
You're right, Captain.
Look at the production room. Who the fuck put tits on the goddamn Mon Cala?
Probably not.
We have walked away.
Yeah, you don't see any females either.
Yeah. What do they look like to you?
They look like this thing's off of War of the Worlds.
Reapers. They look like Reapers. Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The army has assembled, Count
I
Dooku.
think Dooku said, like, stop fucking swimming.
Probably. They can't though, right?
Quarren lead.
I know many of you agree with the Quarren, that I am too young to rule. But I assure you, I will use all my strength and all my abilities to lead us through this challenge. I do not believe the Quarren will attack.
You know, that race, that like shark race, it's like,
Yeah.
despite all the advanced technology, I
Yeah.
feel like in a fight in the water, he would still go back to like his primal instincts and just like rip somebody to pieces.
Tear
Well,
their
just
throats out. and
keep
then-
watching.
It's an attack.
Take cover.
That is Akbar. Yeah, that's an attack.
Stay where you are and hold the line.
We should take the prince to a safer place until the Republic reinforcements arrive.
That's impossible. That is a decision only the prince can make. He is our leader.
This is horrible.
Your Highness, this is not a wise decision, and you know it. Forget your tradition. This is war.
Majesty,
I have to stay here with my people. Press your attack, Captain.
Fucking shit. Yeah, but like all the enemies on screen is at the time a feat. I knew your ass would be like. We were just talking about it, but you hated sharks earlier.
this is your home. Do not let it fall.
The blasters underwater is kind of
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not
Strange
sure
thing.
about the mechanics of that.
I don't either. I mean, they're all different looking than regular
I
blasters,
know,
but it's still a laser.
Producing the energy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck! Oh, shit!
What do we do
They can
now?
swim. Why did they fall?
come up with another plan.
Oh no!
Any ideas?
Blue leader standing by.
Friendly standing by.
I think he did say gold leader.
there's because of how many different worlds and planets and species there are in Star Wars that no matter what, it's like they've adapted
Oh yeah.
fighting and vehicles and weapons to any sort of battle. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
This shark just ran through those guys too.
I like the first one you see in Rogue One.
Oh yeah.
It's like a little white tail.
Yeah.
that's terrible.
Yeah, dude. Fucking sharks.
They're cheering for you.
You're cheering for them.
Then make it for you. Come on. Lead.
He's like Bowen and Einan, except he's a little prick.
Fucking squares.
Little assholes.
Look at him.
use the Force, right?
I know.
Jedi have like breath training. It's like episode 1.
Yeah, episode 1 they had fucking breathalyzer.
Yeah, but I'm talking about
rebreathers.
They do. I think when they fill that room with dioxygen.
I had it under control, Snips.
I knew you'd say that. It's Senator Tills. I need help getting her to safety. We're at the base of the palace, and hurry.
Ahsoka, cover the prince. I'm going for the senators.
He seems to be able to manipulate the lightsaber surprisingly well for being underwater.
Yeah, it's a little slower because
in the micros here, they showed a bunch of bubbles and shit.
I did love that effect. Yeah.
Grab on.
Good idea.
It's not pretty goddamn fast.
Fuck yeah.
Get us out of here.
Hang on.
I am.
What a terrible way to.
Jaws 3.
I'm slipping.
Look out! Behind you!
As long as we're in the tube, we're safe.
Yeah.
The powerful son of a bitch.
Yeah, he is.
Well, considering those tubes would have to be able to withstand an insane amount of pressure, you know?
Yeah.
For him to generate enough force to break them, right?
Yeah. The only thing they shy away from is blood in the water.
Yeah.
But I thought for the most part, he's a shark.
Yeah.
What makes you think these secret weapons you've brought from your home world will fare any better?
They are half machine, half monster. We call them Hydroid Medusas. They are invincible.
Half machine, half monster.
How do you control it? Machine parts for?
Basically, android versions of jellyfish when they're playing.
Visually speaking, this is a pretty cool episode.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's quite a jump. I think that thing's
no
pretty
defense against those.
This isn't gonna be easy.
All troops, weather
The bodies floating around.
cool. Yeah,
Reminds me of space or something.
it does, doesn't it?
Bodies.
do not fire until the prince gives the command.
You guys have a lot of nerve to, like, be so experienced and have to listen to a kid.
Not yet. Now, Your Highness.
Attack!
But he's telling him to tell the Highness to tell them.
He wants to make it look good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ahsoka, find a way out of here.
Prince, we're somewhere safe.
Pretty close.
Can't retreat. Not now. We've got to be brave.
There's a time to attack and a time to retreat, and now is not the time to be brave.
What took your squids so long?
I didn't think you and your separatist droids would need backup. Your reputation is a little exaggerated.
Exaggeration is a weapon of war. It's what helped deliver the enemy into your hands.
Then let's be thankful this is our day. A victorious day that...
Disobey a command from Count Dooku again, and I will kill you where you stand.
We won't be killed by that guy.
No.
how do you be in a civilized galaxy and kill people like that?
Ripping skins and pushing pins, man. He's an ambassador, too.
Yeah.
Got a desk job.
Yeah.
He's like Ed Harris in Westworld. Got that frustration sometimes.
Thanks to you, Padawan Tano, and to these brave soldiers. I wish I could have done more for my people. Maybe then we would have been spared all of this. The illusion that I could actually lead in my father's place.
Your father would be proud of you.
Proud? We lost.
Today, you learn the hardest lesson a commander can learn. How to live to fight another day.
George Washington.
Yeah. Is that a quote from him?
It sounds something along those lines, yeah.
That was the premiere of season 4, gentlemen. I've seen it. These guys have. What'd you think?
Well, first thing that stuck out to me, so think about how things are today in our current world with the political climate and people saying that politicians have too much reach. So the galaxy's in the middle of war, right? But it made reference to Dooku again. And imagine, in the grand scheme of things, Dooku's political reach that he has.
Yeah, it's incredible, and because he's got so much money. You know what I mean?
Money and influence.
Yeah, exactly. Influence. His ability to influence, at least in part, how the war and like how the puzzle pieces are being moved around for a war, like as a politician.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, he's taken a legitimate cause, which is a bunch of senators and separatists and planets.
A bunch of disenfranchised
They
people.
think that this republic is rotting, and they're right. So he's just using their pain for Palpatine's plan.
There's a part in the Tarkin book where he approaches Wilhuff Tarkin on Eriadu, or whatever how he pronounces his planet.
Yeah.
He's kind of laying it all out there. He's been courting Tarkin with the idea for a while when Tarkin was the governor of the planet. And finally he comes down for one last talk. He said, I have to have an answer. And looking back, Tarkin feels like his loyalty was obviously being tested.
Yeah.
Because he remains loyal to the Republic. But it's kind of like they had this little charming dinner, and Dooku brought wine.
Yeah.
So it's
wine and dine, old Williff. you know. How'd you feel? And I guess I'm asking you more about the art and production side as well. I mean, the story's good.
Visually, I thought this episode was great compared to a lot of the other Clone Wars I've seen so far.
Yeah,
it was the battles was very dark. The bodies floating around in the water during the assaults. The lighting when the android jellyfish.
Yeah, it's like this weird yellow. Scary.
It was imposing
yeah.
and foreboding, and I thought that animation, the shots, the coloring, the music, especially, it all worked.
Music was really good. So. It's cool to see Kit Fisto again. I will say, I'll also I think call out the original microseries. There was something really cool about the bubbles around the sabers. Mm-hmm. I would have really liked that they would have done that effect. I think
maybe there's more physics involved. I don't know how much heat they would generate, and you can imagine that they'd be doing something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But I don't know a lot about laser technology, so.
Well, I've heard like in EU, because obviously there's different people who do different things, and they don't always catch every contradiction. But they gave off no heat at all. And then sometimes they did get off heat, like they would melt the snow. So I don't know what the answer is.
But if they give off heat, then yeah, it makes sense.
But even if they didn't, I still would have liked that effect, just because it looks cool. Well, I think we got to go with what looks cool.
For instance, what have we seen where it's been raining on lightsabers and you hear the hiss?
I think we saw it in the microseries, but we've seen other things. Pretty sure.
So I can't remember.
Yeah,
but I know that it's just the idea.
Yeah, I like that idea. I would have liked that here.
If it can cut through a body, it can cut through metal because it's producing this energy, then obviously it would probably boil water.
Yeah, because look at episode 1, when he's melting, it's the door. Melting the door.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, so it makes perfect sense that it would boil the water.
Yeah.
In terms of just the laws that they've already put in place.
Yeah. How'd you feel?
It cuts Luke's hand off, it cauterizes the wound.
You're right. How'd you feel about like the little civil war between the Mon Calamari and the Quarren?
Well, it's like we kind of talked about during the reaction. I like how Star Wars has been able to adapt vehicles, weapons, to adapt to whatever fighting environment that you're in. So think about like our world here, where like the Revolutionary War, for example, or the Civil War. kind of as far as the technology, like, you have what you have, and it doesn't matter whether you were fighting in Pennsylvania or you were fighting in South Carolina. Like, the guns are relatively the same, the outfits are relatively the same, you have horses and buggies and a train, that's pretty much it. But, like, there, like, it adapted. Like, this is an underwater battle, and like you were talking about with the environment as a whole, it created this immersive experience where you have like all these underwater vehicles, these underwater weapons, like we were talking about the blasters and stuff.
Yeah, it was definitely the same laser, but they were all different technology.
That's how they developed
their
weaponry.
Well, I just liked, I mean, they were all just new assets, like underwater droid things, whatever they were. I think a story of like a young prince having to step up and be king, and that's always, I think, a pretty... I mean, the most recent thing for me and Zach was House of the Dragon, which I think it did it really well. It's always a cool story. I mean, this is not as deep as that. I always think that's interesting. And I think this will surprise people with what they do with Lee Char.
Yeah, it sounds like Lee Charles.
Yeah. What do you think of the Shark Man?
I liked his intensity.
Yeah, he's good intensity. It's... I mean...
he sounds funny sometimes, kind of hammy, like a kid's cartoon.
Oh, he definitely does.
He's going around, but...
It's interesting that they, like we talked about right before this episode, kind of like with Bosk and other Star Wars characters, like he had a bipedal look, and they kind of honored, I think, that, you know, that trope, you know?
Yeah, I get it to a point. I was just hoping, I think eventually they should start to really...
No, I
explore some creative resources.
I'm a fan of them developing more aliens personally myself.
Yeah, but I also like the idea of honoring those traditions and having these wonky alien suits with big flipper feet.
Yeah, because you could just put a person in that thing if there's a live action and just put a shark head on them. So, how'd you feel about them?
Well, as you know, Zach, I don't know if you know this, but I am deathly afraid of whales. I'm afraid of large things underwater.
Sharks. What sharks?
I would rather deal with a shark than a whale.
Why?
Personally.
What about a great white versus a sperm whale?
Well, okay, but I'm just saying, like, this shark, it's the idea that, I don't know if it relates necessarily to the Star Wars universe, but in theory, sharks have been a dominant predator for millions upon millions upon millions of years. They've been around. So he has, like, kind of this natural advantage in the water, and you kind of see, like, this primitive...
Yeah, he's way better than everyone else, except like maybe a droid.
Yeah.
Like he's better than all the organics.
And he just like goes around mauling people in the water. It's terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Wonderful to watch.
It's definitely intense, like you said. Like the only thing they shy away from is the blood, and I think they literally can't show blood like at certain time slots or whatever. I didn't need the blood, but it was definitely intense and a little scary.
They fogged the water, so that was decent enough to see. I don't recall seeing many Mongols bleeding in other Star Wars, so I don't know what their blood looks like. It could look like that.
Maybe it's like water.
It's like the grayish, like brackish look, because it looked brackish around
That's a good
his
point.
enemies when he was biting them.
Good word.
Yeah, brackish. Combination of salt
Scared of
and...
whales, though.
Yeah. Well, for them, it's killer whales.
Well, killer whales, yeah.
And they're technically dolphins, right? I think.
They're porpoises.
Yeah, but I think, are those type of dolphins? Are those all dolphins? All
porpoises were dolphins.
Yeah.
So it's a big porpoise.
Yeah.
So you don't like porpoises.
What about
I wouldn't like the idea if I was out on a boat and a fucking whale just tipped the boat over and then you get swamped by it.
Yeah,
and you have no control because of the force of the situation and you just get drowned. But
no, it'd be terrible. I mean, I know killer whales or orcas, they hunt some sharks and they just But like I told you that one of that, I think it was a baby great white shark, and there's like 3 or 4. It was like a 20-minute long video that someone recorded. I don't know how. I think it was a helicopter or a drone. They were just chasing this baby shark. It looked like they were going 100 miles an hour in the water. Like it was like water was kicking back like a fucking like a jet like a one of those boats that they use in Louisiana.
So you guys wouldn't.
And it was going, and this thing it was just slowly fucking chasing this thing down. It was awful.
You guys wouldn't be scared if you were in a kayak and
I would be.
A blue whale swam underneath you. I would be.
I'd be concerned that it would come up and then fucking overturn me,
and
then a shark would eat me. More of those lines would probably get drowned. I doubt a shark would be in that.
Well, this motherfucker, and this man is by no means a coward. But we were kayaking. I remember he was on edge. Like at first,
I didn't like it.
He's like, "Do we need life jackets or something?" And he just rowed. He looked like he was looking around. Like it was like, but after like 10 minutes, he got used to it. And as we talk long enough, we got to do more.
Accepted my fate.
Yeah, we're out of here.
Guys, thanks for watching. Remember, you always do that to me,
That's
man.
right. Continue.
Guys, thanks for watching. Remember, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button.
Sorry.
I'm not doing
Check out our merchandise. And
Thanks for tuning in. Find the link tree. Get out of here.